Crimson Squad, this is Amy Crimson, and you're watching Dudes at Ringside Podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe Panther Jr., streaming Monday, May 17th. See you there.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to Dudes at Ringside Podcast, aka the internationally known, and now introducing to the mic, the one, the only, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, world? What's going on? Dudes at Ringside Podcast, what's going on? I got a huge announcement, actually, Joe. I'm going to make it right now on the show. Actually, we're now known in Germany.
Oh, wow.
So not only are we known in Canada and the UK, we're also known now in Germany. So hello, Germany. How's it going?
Hey, Germany.
What's up?
I don't have to say hi in German, but hello.
You want to introduce our guest, Joe?
Oh, sure. Why not? Oh, well, this young lady is a well-known wrestler in the indies, and she's from Canada. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to Amy Crimson.
What's up, Crimson Squad? What's up?
What's up?
So we tried to get this part of the show done with our last two guests, but that show went so crazy and so fun, and as one of the shows fell off the bandwagon and pretty much bumped its head. So, Amy, please introduce yourselves to our audience.
Okay, so my name's Amy Crimson. I am trained by former WWE superstar Santino Marella, aka Anthony Corelli. I've been trained at Battle Arts Academy, and I wrestle in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, precisely Mississauga and the Ontario Indies. And yeah, I'm a former Battle Arts Women's Champion, and I come from the streets of Malton.
Awesome.
Okay,
Geeky, let's start these fun questions for our friend Amy here. You start.
I'm going to start? All right.
All right, I'm the face. I got to toss you under the bus. That's what I was facing before.
Oh, great. I'm going to start now. All right. So she already introduced herself, right? So
Yep.
All right. How long have you been wrestling for? Jonah?
So since the pandemic happened, I've been wrestling for 2 years, but it would have been 4 without the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So trained for 1 year and then wrestled on the indies for a year.
Let there be light.
All right. My question. If the pandemic never happened, like, do you think you would have maybe got picked up by like an indie federation in America?
Possibly. I was the thing is, before the pandemic happened, I had a 5-year plan where like I would train for like at least a year, hit the indies, and try to get recognized in all of Ontario. And then after all of Ontario, try to like venture out and go to the States and go to like Mexico, Germany, the UK, Japan, kind of thing. Honestly, who knows what would have happened? Like, my career was kind of picking off because like before the pandemic happened, I main evented with Allison Kay. I was her tag team partner.
Right.
Rebel and Casey Spinelli at an all-women's pay-per-view in Revolution and at the Don Koloff Arena at Battle Arts Academy. So like I feel like without the pandemic, I feel like my career probably would have lifted a bit more. But then like this pandemic like made me like realize, okay, I got to work on the things I need to work on. And hopefully after this pandemic, my career can go and like skyrocket as much as possible. That's the plan, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Big time.
I have a question.
As I always say, we love our independent wrestling, and like we just want all you fun independent wrestlers to flourish. And that's the number one reason why on the episode I don't know if you watched,
Yeah.
I'm the guy that says, like, everybody out there, please support your local indies. Like, they're struggling right now. They don't have fans. So go on WrestleTees and buy a random wrestling t-shirt from an indie fed if you don't even know the name, like the fed you're in.
Doesn't
Go
need to be a shirt. It could be anything, right?
buy a sticker and buy their hat.
Yeah.
Just buy something. They need your, like, if you have anything you like, do you have any of your merch on the WrestleTees website?
I honestly haven't been able to make merch. I was like trying to dip my water into it a little bit, but I was hoping that like once like if the pandemic never happened, that if like my career would have skyrocketed, I would have had a little bit more merch. Right now I think I only have 8x10s, but that's about it, kind of thing. But I'm working on merch, so stay tuned.
Stay
Well, if
tuned.
you have any 3x10s, you could show them, and if the fans want to like purchase any of them, they could.
Right now I'm not selling any 8x10s because it's too complicated to send them overseas and stuff. I tried like to like sell some 8x10s, but it's so complicated. It's like more expensive to like send 8x10s out to people than like that you're making. So I'm just gonna wait until the pandemic's over and then try to sell as much merch as
Yeah. Oh, we have a question from the audience.
What's your favorite love to perform wrestling move?
during my matches, like, or just in general.
I guess they were trying to say, like, what is your favorite wrestling move to perform, I guess.
So my 3 major wrestling moves that I love to perform in every single match is basically like a choke from behind. So like a back choke where like I basically like move into it from behind, and then also a Michinoku driver is one of my finishers, and I love to always do the cutters in my match.
Okay. See, we got some questions.
What did your parents think about you learning wrestling?
So at first when I started watching wrestling when I was 8, and at first when I was 8 years old I wanted to become a wrestler, but at the time when I grew up as being an 8-year-old, the women's wrestling was kind of not really like the best you could possibly be as a woman. It was more sexualized than wrestling. So they weren't for it at first, but then right when I turned 19 and I decided to train, and I was like, okay, I want to train. They seen how the wrestling was and how like the women's revolution was going, and they're like, okay. And now ever since like I started wrestling, like they're my number one supporter. Like they never stop coming to shows. They're always at the shows. They're always the ones cheering for me. Even when we're in the grocery store, like they'll be like, oh, my daughter's a professional wrestler. So they're okay with me training. They love it.
Oh, we got another question.
Do you have any pets? We're flu flying, right?
No, I don't have any pets, but I love dogs. I'm like the biggest dog person. If you give me a dog, like I'll be the happiest person of life.
I have 2 wiener dogs, so you'd probably be so happy. Okay.
Joe?
Okay, I got it. So like, I know you can't wrestle right now, but what kind of training have you been doing since you can't wrestle?
The kind of training I've been doing is basically mostly trying to build as much muscle and trying to keep in shape as much as possible. Since even in Canada, we have no access to gyms, we can't access the dojos, nothing. So I try to keep my cardio up. I try to basically work out as much as possible, try to eat as clean as possible, and like mostly just continuously diet and like exercise. That's all I can really do to try to stay in shape.
Okay, Geeky. You next.
All right. What's your favorite music? I'm the music guy.
My favorite kind of music is either reggaeton or trap music.
Oh yeah. Okay. If you could pick anybody from the past or present of a female wrestler to wrestle, it doesn't have to be from the indies. It could be from WCW or WWF. Who would you want to wrestle and why?
I have 2. So for the past, I would love to have a match with Lita. She was one of my favorites growing up. and I just feel like her kind of character and my kind of character would like go good. And like I just love her wrestling kind of style because I found out recently that she trains in judo and I train in judo. So that would be an awesome match if we can go back, like, or we can even book it now. Like that would be awesome because she's one of my inspirations. And currently, I think I would love to have a match with Asuka because yeah, because she was trained by Toy, and Toy actually was able to train us for a bit at Battle Arts Academy. So her wrestling style and my wrestling style, like we were trained in the same kind of style. So I feel like a submission match would like be awesome. Like I would love to have a submission match with Asuka.
And she seems so funny to be around. Like during the ring, her character, like the, and she doesn't play around. Like if you, wait, someone had a question.
Have you fought in the United States?
No, so I was planning on before COVID. I was honestly planning on saving my money and trying to do some shows on the indies in the US, but then COVID happened and we couldn't do it. So hopefully, when COVID's over, I can do some of the promotions in the US and have some shows and try to make my name for myself in the United States.
Well, I hope you could, because there's like quite a few like indie groups that we would love to see you jump in, come here to. And if you came to Ring of Honor, and I live in Pennsylvania, and Geeky lives in New York. If you came and you were in ROH and you're like, guys, I'm in Ring of Honor, and I can get those tickets, me and Geeky would be sitting in front row with Let's Go Amy signs, cheering down the crowd to cheer you. Even though if you come in as a heel, we'll still cheer you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Next question.
Yeah.
I guess I'm next, right? Is there anything you want to accomplish in wrestling? The big question.
Honestly, the thing that I really want to accomplish is to at least get signed to one of the major promotions. Like that's always been a goal. My major goal, honestly, is to get at least signed to the WWE, become a champion in WWE, and at least be like established kind of thing. I honestly just want to get paid for wrestling and like be able to live off of it. That's like my major goal. As long as it's like one of the major promotions, like I'm set for life. Like that's a goal that is best for me.
Murata wants you to do the Oscar dance again. Although the fans on Spotify cannot see this.
Yeah, just pretend, guys. Pretend you see me doing the Oscar dance. Yes, I'm the goofy old school guy. Actually, as I say, certified old school. Yes, is it my turn again, Geeky, or is it your turn?
I think it's your turn, dude.
Here we go. Another old school question. If you could take any manager from like the old school manager, like Golden Era manager, who would you want as your manager and why?
If I was a heel, I would love to have Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yes, another person said that.
He was just overall like that sneaky kind of like weaselly kind of character that like could really make or break your character. Like so if you really wanted to be a heel, like he could actually like make you like one of the biggest heels just by the way his like persona and his way he is. And if I was a babyface, I would love to like see there's not a lot of babyface managers. But the first one that comes to my head is Captain Lou Albano.
Of course, the captain.
I would love to have him as a manager if I'm babyface, and if I'm heel, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
I met Bobby the Brain Heenan, unfortunately, before he passed. He was one of the nicest people I ever met, and I had him sign my WrestleMania. I guess when he faced Andre faced Hogan, I said, "Oh, you can sign it." He's like, "Sure," and he's like, I for some reason I pointed. I said, "Well, you can sign it here," and he's like, "I refuse to sign over Hogan. I'm signing over my boy Andre." It's when he had the throat cancer, and he still had a jaw, but he had his Royce Chandler Dersh.
Yeah,
but that was my one experience meeting a Golden Era legend, but it was so cool. God rest your soul, Bobby. Okay, Geeky, no more tears.
We got one question from open floor now. If you weren't a wrestler, what would your other dream passion job be?
So my other passion job, which I actually got a certification in, is personal training and nutritionist. So I would love to have my own personal training business to help other people like lose weight and get in shape, and possibly just like my coach did, Anthony. I would love to open up my own gym and just teach people how to wrestle and like.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Totally.
Is there any social media you want us to follow or?
If you guys want to follow my Instagram, it's Amy Crimson XOXO. I have a Facebook page, Amy Crimson, a TikTok, Amy Crimson XOXO, and my Twitter, Amy Crimson XOXO. And if you guys are interested in any of my matches, just search up Amy Crimson and everything should just come up.
That's the other thing. When we got you, I had to like research, because just remember, fans, if you're starting a podcast, always check if they're really a wrestler. It could be just okay, not to sound offensive to anybody. They could be just thirst trap, thinking you think they're a wrestler, or they say it on their bio. Always look it up, because I looked her up and bingo bango, a few matches showed up, and I was like, awesome. They were good matches too. They were good matches. A lot of good moves, a lot of falls, and I was like, wow, okay, this girl's she's good. She's good. Yeah. Have you ever thought about maybe wrestling in the United Kingdom if you can, whenever you go back?
Oh yes, for sure. Like I honestly wanted to travel the world and wrestle as many countries as possible. I really wanted to wrestle in the UK, possibly Japan, but my major goal was basically to wrestle in the United States, because there's so many opportunities in the United States with so many promotions, as well as the UK, Germany, and Japan. I also wanted to wrestle for, I think, WXW in Germany. That's one as well. Just any major promotions in like any of the countries, like the major countries with wrestling, that would be a goal for me.
The best chance is to get on WrestleMania weekend, because there's going to be so many different promotions and the different agents that are going to be there at all the shows that are probably looking for people.
Yeah.
So
here we go. We usually just keep asking the guest questions, but you know what? I want to do this, Geeky. Do you have any wrestling stories you would like to tell us?
So I think it was when I first started wrestling. So I didn't have a name, and Anthony, or I guess I could say Santino, just in case people don't know his real name. So Santino was basically saying how, okay, are you ready to wrestle? Because I think we were low with girls because we didn't have enough girls. And at this point, I was only, I think, 2 months into training as a wrestler. So he threw me into a match, like it was like a practice match. And he was like, okay, you're ready, go. And then I guess I impressed him, but I didn't have a name. So he's like, okay, what's your name? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't have a name. Like I never knew. And he's like, how did you start wrestling and not have a name? And I'm like, that's a good question, but I just wanted to learn, kind of thing. So he's like, okay, Amy. But he didn't have a last name for me, so I just wrestled as Amy. And the crowd was like, okay, cool. Like, we like her. She's a babyface. She's cool. So forward, he liked what he saw, so he put me on the actual show that night. I believe it was Summer Sizzle of 2018, and this was my first match. I never wrestled in front of people before. I'm what you say, one of the shyest people when I first start something, and then I open up and I get better, kind of thing. So this was my first show, and his daughter Bianca Corelli comes in because she was doing the announcing, and she's like, Amy, you don't have a last name. Like, we need a last name. And I was like, oh my God, like, I don't have a last name. Like, I only have a first name, kind of thing. Like, I didn't know that you're supposed to have two, like, kind of like a first name and a last name kind of thing. So we're in the change room, and my match is going to be coming up. And she's like, okay, we need to think of something fast. So I was wearing crimson lipstick. And that's how the name Amy Crimson came about. So she's like, Amy Crimson. And I was like, I like it. And it just stuck. And I've been wrestling under Amy Crimson for the past 4 years now.
It's kind of like WWE in a way. It's like, you have a last name? Okay, now you don't.
Yeah.
Because Andrade was his name before that? Andrade Amos was Andrade. And then they say, okay, we don't like that name anymore. It's just Andrade. So
yeah.
It's like, how do you guys go with just one name?
I just feel like my name is like, cause like with the
I'm
podcast,
saying WWE. I'm saying WWE. How do they go with just one name? You know?
honestly, I just feel like maybe it's like just for marketing kind of thing.
Mhm.
So like it's easier for people to cheer if he's a baby face
Mhm.
because like you can cheer for somebody easier if it's just like one singular name compared to like if it was like Andre Siamas
Yeah.
kind of thing. So like I feel like maybe it's just like a market kind of thing where you have like one name because like
One name.
there's names that have double that click, but then there's
Uh-huh.
also names that are huge like Sting. Like
Yeah.
if Sting had two names, he wouldn't be as iconic as he would. It's just Sting. It's recognizable, it's easy to say, and it's quick and it sticks in your head kind of thing. So maybe that's why.
Gotcha. That's probably it.
There we go.
All right.
Do you have
So-
any like funny stories from the road being in Canada when you were still able to wrestle?
So I have one. So I was going to a Junction show. It's a small promotion in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I was basically road tripping it with Tino Tolius, Beef, Sexy Stan, some of the Battle Arts guys, and Frank the Tank. And we had to make a road stop, like we had to make a pit stop, and it was at a dollar store. So we're all pretending to be Tino Tolius's kids. So we're all walking in, and then we start basically pretending to do wrestling moves and like super kicking each other and selling everyone's moves and everything. And this Italian guy, like this old Italian man, is in the aisle. He looks at us and he's like, "Madame, what is wrong with you people?" And Tolius is like, he walks in, he's like, "I'm so sorry, my kids they're stupid." Kind of thing. And he's like, and he gets so mad. He's like, "I can't take you guys anywhere. You guys always have to do this to me. You guys make me a laughing stock." And everything. And it was just, that was one of my funniest road trip stories. It's like, it was so fun just like to road trip with them. Like, hopefully, like, COVID's over and I can road trip with them again.
As I said, you come to the States, just message the dudes that page, and if we're able to show up at the show, we will give you the biggest ovation in the crowd. Trust me, you don't know how Joe the Panther is when he meets a wrestler and he becomes besties with them. You get the best ovation of one. I will bring the signs. I will bring the loud claps, the loud Latino claps. Even though I'm a heel. Stop it. You could even go at me and tell me, "Hey, you suck." Well, I do, don't I? I'll be the flip-flop fan. 1 minute you
Murata with the comment of the night. We'll turn this car around and no one will wrestle.
That's literally.
So, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully this year is the last year with COVID. It's hard to say because we don't know when we're gonna get back in the ring. So I would like and hopefully to possibly get a WWE tryout within the 5 years and possibly get signed within a huge company. Like that's my main goals. But I know that when I come back from COVID, it's not going to be as easy. So hopefully get on as many promotions as possible, get back to wrestling and try to build my brand and establish the name Amy Crimson as much as possible.
Is there do you have a favorite movie or a?
My favorite movie is White Chicks.
White Chicks.
Oh my God.
That's my favorite movie.
It's hilarious you say that, Amy, because I work in a grocery store, and every time this song by Vanessa Carlton comes on, I randomly under my mask, I go, try not to sound really loud, but I go the really loud girl voice. Oh my God, like that's our song. Because I'm wearing a mask and I go, oh my God, that's our song.
I may be hood, but that's my favorite song.
Fun fact, where I live in Pennsylvania, she grew up there. Vanessa Carlton. And it's funny because like people are like, yeah, Vanessa Carlton, oh, it's from both. And then Vanessa Carlton's from here, and I'm like, oh my God, that's her song.
Terry Crews saying, how'd you know that's my favorite song?
They actually had her perform, and I missed it by like an hour because I was doing something with my friends and I couldn't get back on time. And I was like, I could have got her autograph. I could have hung out with her. I'm like, I could have hung out with Vanessa Carlton. Dang it. Okay, back to the questions. No more Joe stories.
All right, Joe, you're next.
Okay, Geeky, you turn.
I already went. I said the favorite movie.
There we go. Nerd question. Have you ever seen the movie Ghostbusters?
Yes, but fun fact, when I was basically a 98 baby, so by the time I saw it, I think I was a kid, and it scared the shit out of me. I think I had bad dreams after as a kid.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I guess the ghosts kind of freaked me out as a kid, so I didn't really watch it. I watched it I think once or twice with my parents, but it wasn't really for me, kind of thing.
It happens to everybody. I was afraid of Slimer, yet I have this tattoo of Slimer on my thigh. So go figure. I eat like him. Okay, Gee, your turn. No more Joe.
It's an all-time favorite match.
My all-time favorite match, it has to be Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker WrestleMania 25. Like the WrestleMania 26 match was amazing, but nothing compares to the first WrestleMania match that they had at 25.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was just my favorite match altogether.
Okay, here we go. I got my question. It's sort of a cool question. I don't know. You may not be. When was the moment when you knew I made it in the ring?
So the moment that I realized that I made it, I have two moments. So the first moment was when I was going for the Battle Arts Women's Championship with Nessa Love. I was in the middle of the ring, and they basically announced, and your new Battle Arts Women's Champion, Amy Crimson. And by that rate, I was like, okay, like I finally have accomplished something that I set my mind out to, like for the Women's Championship. Like I know it's not the end all goal, but it's something that like makes me feel like, okay, all your hard work has paid off. Because the reason why it was so emotional at that point was because I think a couple months prior I lost my uncle. So I was working so hard to win the Battle Arts Women's Championship for my uncle to basically prove like, okay, like this is what I want to do. So that was a moment that basically made me feel like, okay, I'm getting somewhere. And the moment that I feel like I made it was when I main evented the all women's pay-per-view with Allison Kay and Rebel and Casey Spinelli. That was the end moment where I'm like, okay, I'm going somewhere and I'm going places. It's just not the end, but it's the start of something.
For those that don't know, I know this is kind of a random question. For those that don't know, what is Battle Arts Academy?
So Battle Arts Academy is it's a dojo where you can train martial arts. So you can cross train with judo, Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu, boxing, and it's a gym. And it's also a professional wrestling school owned by Anthony Corelli, aka Santino Marella.
Okay. Just wanted to let, I know what it is. I'm just wanting to say if everyone in the chat knows what it is. So, but all right. Do you have a favorite Canadian sports team or?
So obviously, Die Hard. I don't follow any sports. I usually just watch wrestling. But for sports teams, I would like Toronto Blue Jays, Toronto Raptors, Toronto Maple Leafs, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my Canadian teams that I support.
Joe, you have anything?
All right. What is your favorite food?
My favorite foods are tacos and anything spicy, kind of thing.
Yeah. So if you ever make it to the States, we could all meet up for tacos. we had another guest on our show. He wrestles in Canada, and he wrestles in Texas. His name is Tamaku. I don't know if you saw that episode.
I was telling her earlier.
He's a big scare wrestler with the mohawk. The man is a Jamboli wrestler giant. He's a big dude. He loves tacos. I'm like, now I say you like tacos. We could have Tamaku come out. We could have Amy Crimson come. We could all hang out and eat tacos. Tamaku will come lock the door. We'll just get all the tacos we want. But it's like, do you like Ma and Pa taco places, or is it like Taco Bell?
Like I just like authentic. Like I don't really like the authentic kind of tacos because I'm not an onion and cilantro kind of person. But I just like, I don't like Taco Bell. I just like the normal kind of tacos, your cheese, your sauce, your veggies kind of thing with the meat. I don't like the onions or cilantro kind of thing. I hate it.
Yeah, me too. Whenever I get a taco, I always ask them, no onions. Any sandwich, anything I get, no onions, no onions. People always wonder why, because I think onions are nasty. They're just nasty. I don't know. I just don't. I can't. I don't know. I just can't.
Yeah.
Geeky?
Would you prefer being heel or face? What do you like better?
So I actually got to be both. I started off my career as heel, and I loved being heel. It was one of the easiest things I could possibly do. I know some people will say it's like the hardest, but for me, like being heel just came off natural. Like you could just be a dick, and like just for the crowd to like hate you so much, you feel like you're doing your job. For me, the hardest thing is like it's not that I'm not like a people person, because like I love being face, but I just feel like it's more hard to be a face with my type of character kind of thing. So I love being a heel because it fits more.
Sorry, what is your character exactly?
Funny story. So Anthony, or Santino Morella, he basically I started off as a psychotic character, so I was like crazy, and it wasn't working for me. Like I felt like I was stuck, and he heard me talk some slang, because like where I grow up there's some slang, and the first thing that came out of his mouth, he's like, "You're gangster," and I'm like, okay. And then he's like, okay, so we're gonna say you're from the streets of Malton and you're a hood character and you're gangster. I'm like, okay. And I didn't think it was gonna work at first, and then the crowd got behind it, and I was heel, and people were cheering for me because they thought I was cool. So I'm basically, for those who don't know, I'm from the streets of Malton, and I'm a hood chick that takes kind of.
So Amy Crimson could hang out with my character I've had for like years called Kid Crazy. So Amy Crimson will be Kid Crazy's manager or partner. They always say like the guys can wrestle with the girls, so it'll be a mixed tag team. Be Amy. See, now I got to create you. And has anybody tried to create you in the WWE games?
I actually had like a couple fans which like I'm honored, honestly, to make me as like a wrestling character in the games. And they actually sent me screenshots. And I think that was like one of the coolest things, like to see somebody actually try and mimic you in a game. Like that's so cool.
Cool. I'm gonna have to later on tonight. I'm gonna go on WWE 2 because I didn't venture to 2K20 because it was so bad.
Yeah.
So I've been playing 2K19. Ask Marauder is the guy on our questions that always has the cool funny questions.
He always has the funny comments.
Yeah, he's the one with he's the one with the Bray Wyatt picture. Well, me and him usually play like our games with each other. And now later on Marauder, I'm gonna look for Amy Crimson. I'm definitely gonna have to find you. If it's not on there, just send me a picture of what you wear.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely have to like hook you up the right way. Or Marauder, because Marauder knows how to create things really good. Okay. I'll send me the picture. I'll send the picture to Marauder, and he got you, girl. Don't worry about it. All right. Geeky, anything else?
Didn't you go?
Oh, I think I already did.
I said 2 already.
Okay, here we go. Have you ever been recognized in public by like really diehard fans and had to go, no, that's not me. That's not me. That's somebody else. I don't know.
So it was actually like 2 years ago. We were at Canada's Wonderland. I don't know if you guys know Canada's Wonderland. It's like a huge park in Vaughan in Ontario, Canada. And we were basically like, it was a couple of us. It was like a couple of the wrestlers. And we were all just like, we wanted to take a picture with Snoopy. And so we were taking a picture with Snoopy. And Snoopy like goes into our ears and we're like, hey, aren't you the Battle Arts guys that wrestle at Battle Arts? And we're like, yeah. And she's like, oh my God, like I come to all the shows, like we love you and stuff like that. So it was actually a cool experience.
That's cool.
Like, so yeah.
It's funny because like we have you on our show. We're gonna have Bella Bronx and also
Jesse McKay,
and Jesse Mack. And it's funny because people are like, oh, do you do anything about these people? I'm like, no, I just wanted to get their name out there. And I'm like, I've never even been to Canada. And now if I ever go to Canada, after I have you 3 on the show, Now it's going to be like, Joe's in Canada. I'll be getting a message. Dude's at ringside. I'll have the sticker next to the Welcome to Canada sign. And I'll probably get a message from all three of you. We're doing a show tonight. Come out. Yeah. So
we'll definitely have to come down to a Battle Arts show.
Definitely. We'll have to get a passport. But yeah, I'll come to Canada. Geeky, your turn.
Yeah, I have a question. It's a good one. If you had kids, would you let them wrestle or?
Honestly, I wouldn't mind. Like if they wanted to follow in my footsteps, like I feel like I would be doing something right that like my kids would want to follow in my kind of footsteps. Like even if my kids don't like wrestling, like I'm not gonna force them to like wrestling. But if they do decide to get into it on their own and they're interested, like for sure, like you guys can wrestle and stuff, and like I wouldn't hate it. I would actually support them.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a thing because I know a lot of people that wrestle that have kids really think that like their kids wouldn't want to be in the same light as them, and they want to do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they find out when the kid's 18, the kid goes, "Mom, I want to be like you," or "Dad, I want to be like you," and then they're like, "You don't want to have broken bones at 40s, do you?" And then they get nervous about it. But then there's other families that that enjoy it. See the Mysterio family. That's my question. Do you watch wrestling like the WWEs and the NXT and the AEWs?
So I mostly just watch WWE, but I don't keep in touch with some of the new stuff. Like I mostly just tune in on pay-per-views. I mostly just watch like old kind of wrestling, like so from like the Ruthless Aggression era, like 2008. But I still tune in, so like I know what's going on. But yeah, I watch a lot of WWE. I don't really watch a lot of like AEW and stuff like that. Like I know I should. But I'm always like a WWE kind of guy. So
yeah. Yeah, like as last night, I didn't get a chance to see the pay-per-view because Geek and Armand, they watched it, and I saw the picture. I teared up because I'm like a big Rey Mysterio fan since college, and to see him and his son win the tag team titles, that was so. I can't even explain how cool that was to see Rey Mysterio and his son win it at the same time. That were together as a family. That's so like, wow.
You know something, Joe? I hate to interrupt, but somebody said in the comment, not these comments, but like on the boards, they should have never won the tag titles. They should have won them on Father's Day, which would have made it mean more.
Yeah.
You know, they should have lost
a little bit better, but still. My dad was wondering about Rey Mysterio. He's like, he actually looks. My dad's like, oh my god, Rey Mysterio looks sick. I'm like, what do you mean he looks sick? I'm like, what is he like? I don't know. I didn't think he looked sick, but yeah, I'm just wondering if you actually watch any of the stuff going on.
Yeah, like I watch wrestling. Like my favorite wrestler growing up was like Rey Mysterio, John Cena. I've been watching since I was 8 years old, so I just stopped watching regularly, like weekly. Like I think when I was like 14, 15.
Yeah. Here's a good question. Is there anything that Santino taught you that you will take with you in wrestling?
Majority of what he taught me, like everything, the respect aspect of it, how to treat people like inside and outside of the ring, how to portray yourself, how to portray yourself as a character, all the wrestling stuff that he showed me, like obviously like all the advice he gave me like for the past like couple years, like everything, like I'm gonna obtain and like use it throughout my career kind of thing.
Do you have a favorite TV show or
my favorite TV show right now going is has to be
besides wrestling?
Besides wrestling?
Yeah.
Orange is the New Black. I got into that kind of show. Like I think I'm on season 6 or 5. But majority, like, I don't really watch that much TV. Like, I dip my waters in like some shows. So like, I think it's what is it? Stranger Things.
Stranger
That's
Things, yeah. That's a good
Yeah,
show.
like I don't really watch TV, but like I'll like watch some Netflix shows like Brooklyn Nine-Nine kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like those kind of shows, but I majority just watch like the WWE Network and like watch wrestling kind of thing.
There's
Yeah.
a show you should totally check out. It's on Netflix. It's called Atypical. It's about a kid that has autism.
Mhm.
And it's about how he lives his life with autism and how people react to him and everything.
Mhm.
It actually has the actor Michael Rappaport on it. It's a really good show. It's
Okay.
only one season. Actually, they just finished filming season 2.
Mhm.
So at the end of the season, you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, Joe, why did you do that? They left us on a cliffhanger." But they're coming back. So it's a good show. You should definitely check it out. It's on
You
Netflix.
should also, I told him to watch it, and he's now hooked on it. Rick and Morty. I called him like the other day. I called him the other day. He's like, "Dude, you gotta stop calling me. I'm watching this show. The show is so freaking funny."
Got this from my friend. Wait,
Oh,
my friend that does pins, like stoner pins. He had that one, and he's like, "I got something for you, Joe." And I'm like, "What's that?" He's like, "You'll see." It came to work, and I was just like, "Came me." He's like, "Here, Joe, close your eyes." Here. I'm like, when did
Right.
Rick and Morty join the Ghostbusters?
you could spare no expense. What would your dream attire consist of?
So my dream like gear would have to be probably like something like with graffiti print on it or like something like that, because all the like things that when I go to like get my gear done and everything, like they said it's really hard to like try and find fabric that has like graffiti print and like specific graffiti print. So like if I could ever get any type of gear with like diamonds and graffiti print, I'm good. I'm hooked. Like that would be my favorite gear of all time, kind of thing.
Get wub dub dub in the comments now.
Here we go. I got another one. Who is your favorite heel of all time, wrestler wise?
My favorite heel has to go to Edge. Like when he was a heel, he was one of the best heels. Like honestly, I like him better as heel than when he's a face, because the way I grew up, like, or him or even JBL, because when I grew up, like I hated them as kids. Like I just despised them. And the fact that you can just get a whole crowd and everybody to despise you to the point where they hate you and they want to key your car, that's gold to me, kind of thing.
Mm.
Is there one episode where Rick and Morty is a ghost and Rick is a buster? Or one quick scene in the Morty Mind Eraser episode? I didn't notice that actually. Do you notice that, Joe? Or have you seen that episode?
Maybe I have to catch up to that episode, but I don't remember that one. Do you, Amy? Do you collect anything? Do you collect anything?
So I used to collect like WWE action figures, and like majority of my collections and stuff is like wrestling related, so like wrestling shirts and like wrestling figures and wrestling magazines when I was a kid, and the cards and stuff like that, and the video games.
I'm a sticker collector, so if you ever get stickers out, Amy, we got actually at the end of the show, like later on, if you can send me your address, and we want to send you a sticker.
Okay.
Yes, because that's our way of saying
thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, it's our thank. And I'll write a nice little letter up for you and Amy and everything, because that's what I do. I'm the man that sends the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Although I got a whole pack of stickers today. There you go.
There's a company that I have to drop his number. I know you're in Canada, but I'll send you my friend's number. He does like merchandise, like T-shirts, stickers, banners. Like you need a sticker or T-shirts. I don't know if
he'll. Everything good though. He did that banner behind you.
That's the thing that's behind me. That's the things he does. Nice. Stickers, banners, T-shirts. Like he could probably, if you send it to Canada, he probably send stuff to Canada. But yeah, he could probably get it.
It's kind of hard. Right now, it's kind of hard with what's going on.
Yeah. That new logo you had, that new logo with just your name.
Yeah.
That would be super dope as a sticker, Amy.
Yeah. I actually got it recently made from Kyle. He is a local competitor. He's a wrestler from Crossbody, and he has his own logo business. So he actually made the logo for me, which was really cool because that was actually a really sick logo. It's like everything I wanted to portray as a character kind of thing.
Yeah. You have any more questions, Geeky?
Not. I'm trying to see. Hold on. Yeah, there's one more. There's with the success of Kenny Omega, do you see like not going to WWE? Do you see yourself becoming successful without WWE or
WWE is always like the main goal. But if I can make a name for myself outside of WWE, that's always a goal as well. My goal is to basically be as established as possible, to be like a household kind of name. So even if you don't watch WWE or even if you watch like a different company, like people will be like, "Oh, Amy Crimson, yeah, we know who that is."
like
So
there's
that's
other people. There's also other people like
Yeah.
Tessa Blanchard's another one that's very, very well known. She never went to WWE.
Yeah.
So, but I guess it's also the name too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe?
I'm trying to think. Skip, you go next, Geeky.
Again?
Yeah, get it again.
Let's open the floor. Let's open the floor if anybody has it.
Fans, do you have any questions for Amy? Please spit. Shoot, baby, shoot. Let's go.
Yeah, we already asked, do you have any pop vinyls? Do you have a favorite pop vinyl or a...
I was actually trying to get an Eddie Guerrero pop vinyl. That would be like the goal because like I'm such a big fan of Eddie Guerrero. I don't really collect pop vinyls. But if I were to get one of Eddie, that would be awesome.
My friend for my birthday got me a Zack Ryder one.
Oh, that's cool.
I met Zack Ryder before he went pro in the New York Wrestling Connection on Long Island, NYWC.
Oh, that's cool.
And I met him, and at WrestleMania 35, I freaked out because they won the tag titles. I was like, oh my God, I met him. See?
Cool.
You know, when you could go back to the States, I think it's my friend looked it up for me. In California, there's like a pop vinyl like store, a giant store. You can get your own pop vinyl made of yourself. I don't know if you know that.
I think there's one in Washington State also.
Oh, that would be cool.
I think there's one. It's like a giant. It's called, I think, Vinyl Pop Warehouse or Funko Pop Warehouse in Washington State. They have like the biggest collection of pop vinyls, and they have like humongous pop vinyls too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I think it's in Washington State I think it's called. It's either Funko Headquarters or Funko Warehouse or something like that.
Yeah, my friend looked it up. I think he said the best one to go is the one in California because you can walk in there and just make yourself. They have like pops. They're just standing there like this with black eyes, and you just grab them, men or women, whatever outfit you want to put on them, like shorts with lines down the side like yours, black red tank top, hat backwards. Actually, you got to make sure you don't make yours look like Brie Bella because you're the hat backwards. You got to make your life look like a different look.
I actually have so many people saying that I look like Nikki Bella, and
a little bit. You have that look. Look like
backwards.
It is what it is, but I don't think like our characters are like the same kind of thing. So
no,
I try to differentiate. But it is what it is. Like fans are gonna think what they want. So as long as we're not the same, that's all that doesn't matter.
Are you reading any books currently?
I've been reading like some wrestling like documentaries and like some of their like books that they made. But other than that,
he has. He's been to the Funko headquarters. He said it's pretty cool. We have to make a trip though, Joe.
I guess we're gonna have to go there too. I'll be like, oh, here we go. Did you ever read the Chris Jericho book?
I haven't got a chance to read it, but I actually wanted to.
I have to get my sink my teeth. I have both of them actually. I have one for Lance. I wasn't supposed to show him. It was supposed to be a surprise till I see him. But I got this one. This is the one for I think this one, and I got this one for Lance,
Oh, it's
and
awesome.
I got this one. Someone gave me, and actually, it's from myself, signed by Chris Jericho.
Oh,
Wow,
that's
actually
sick.
really cool.
I'm
Yep.
not much of a reader though, Joe, but I'll probably take a
It's,
glance at
it's
it.
something to have in your house. You know, it's a Chris Jericho life story. So,
Yeah.
you know what my boss says about life stories, Keith? You don't need them.
Do you have a favorite game or?
And as always, this interview is always sponsored by Key Food in Milford.
So you said that you were asking if I have a favorite game.
Yeah, favorite game, like video game.
So my favorite game is either wrestling games. I guess the SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 or Here
Mhm.
Comes the Pain and Day of Reckoning. Those are my favorite wrestling games. Currently I play a lot of COD with my boyfriend, and Fortnite as well. And I like Resident Evil and all those types of games. Like those are cool. I'm mostly
Resident
like a gamerhead kind of thing.
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 is probably my all-time favorite game. You've been playing the new one or Resident Evil Village?
I didn't actually get a chance to play Village. I wanted to wait a little bit and see. I was hoping to get it soon though. So no spoilers, please, because I want to actually play it.
I'm not a current gamer though, so I'm more of a phone guy. So I play my games on my phone. So
and you don't believe a second the Geek says. In college, me and Geek were like, we would have matches that you would be sitting there at the end of the match, like, add that guy in the meme. One time, Geek and I literally played from like classes over. What was that, like 3 o'clock, 3:30? And we played till about 7 o'clock. Our match went that long.
Yeah, me and my brother, we would have like hour-long matches, just kicking out like by like midge, like spidge, like that. Yeah, like me and my brother, we were like all-time WWE fans. We'd just like watch wrestling and like play video games, and like we'd have like 2-hour-long matches, a singles match. It would just be a regular singles match, but we'd like be playing for 2 hours the one match, just kicking out of each other's finishers over and over again.
We had friends just get so mad at us. One guy, we had to end the match so our friend can go get dinner, right, Geek?
Yeah.
He was like, "You guys done yet?" We're like, "No, 5 more minutes." Joe's character's still with it. I'm like, "No." We both were covered in blood. It was just like, I think that was the time when they had the drips on the ring. So if your guy's bleeding, it would drip around the ring. But man, I still remember. And I told Marauder wanted Geek to get PlayStation, and I told him he doesn't have it. But you don't want to get Geek in the ring. He'll make us have a match till like 1 a.m. Match will never end.
Stiffest opponent you ever worked with?
So I'm actually like trained in Japanese strong style. So like that style is kind of stiff. So like, I don't really know if like, it's like, I don't know if other people train in like strong style kind of thing, but when you wrestle in strong style, it's like the moves are kind of stiff kind of thing already. So I never really had like a really bad opponent. Most likely the people trained in Battle Arts are probably the stiff ones. But if you're trained in strong style, I guess you get used to it, so you don't really know if it's stiff or not. It's just natural for you.
Yeah, you and Asuka, that would be an awesome match, though.
Hopefully, like fingers crossed. Like I would love to have a match with her one day. That would be the goal.
Yeah, have you ever had to have a receipt from?
So like a receipt, like how like if I injured somebody and they tried to like hit me back, kind of thing. No, pretty much all my matches have been like safe, and like I haven't received a receipt, and hopefully one day I hope I don't, because that would suck. But no, currently no.
It was funny with the match. One of the matches I watched you in was I guess the pandas. The girls, they had like panda outfits on.
And it was like panda power kind of thing?
Yes, them. That was one of the matches I watched on YouTube. I
think I watched the match I watched with you was the one with Scarlett Delgado.
Yeah.
That was a really good match.
Thank you. So with that match, she was actually very green, and I don't know if you could tell from the match, but that was one of my favorite matches to do because it was one of the matches where I could call in the ring and feel more confident going in there as more of a vet and trying to teach her kind of stuff. So that's one of my favorite matches because it made me learn and gain more confidence with it. So I'm glad you enjoyed that one.
I also watched the other one with was it Ness? I think her name is Ness something.
Nessa Love.
Nessa Love, yeah, that's the one I watched. So couldn't pronounce the name, but yeah, that was also really good too.
Thank you. It actually means a lot for people to enjoy the matches that we put on.
Yes. As I told Kiara, like it's like absolute honor to have people like you on our shows, from, like different countries and stuff like that. And we love watching like independent wrestling, and like women's wrestling does not get the respect it's supposed to these days by lots of fans, and we want to give you guys the undivided respect that you're supposed to get. And fans don't do that. They I've seen it on the internet. Oh, women's match, gotta go compete. I'm like, oh, come on, dude. Let them do their thing. You know you're gonna like the match. Don't play. Like, come on. Like,
yeah.
Favorite match and stipulation to wrestle and watch.
So my favorite match stipulation is like the Royal Rumble, and I've actually been lucky to be a part of a Battle Rumble. I was actually one of the only girls to be a part of the Battle Rumble that year, in the match. So that was actually a really great experience, and the fact that I got to be a part of one was awesome to me.
Here we go. I got a question. Do you like fighting? Do you like fighting against men, or do you think that they're too stiff on you?
Honestly, again, with the Japanese strong style that I've been trained in, it's actually like where sometimes like the girls could be a little more stiffer to the guys because like we feel like it's not gonna hurt them. So like, honestly, I did have a couple matches with guys. If you guys check out Wrestle Junction, I had a match with Sexy Stan. I also had a chance to be part of a couple battle royals at Battle Arts, and I was part of the Battle Rumble, like the first year that I was in training. And I'm actually open to like doing intergender matches. Like I feel like it would be cool and like a good thing to learn and like have under my belt. So
another match with you and Nakamura would be another great match.
Actually, I would love to actually train with Nakamura or like wrestle with him. Like that would be sick. Like I would probably learn so many new submissions and stuff. That would be awesome.
Because I'm a huge fan of New Japan, and any of those guys over there have the same style you have, like the strong style. So Ishii will be another great match for you. Yeah. But any of those guys. So
here we go. I have another one. If some reason there's a little girl out there listening to our thing on Spotify, if you could tell a little girl anything that wants to grow up and become a professional wrestler, what would you tell her?
I would say follow your dreams. Don't regret it. Like do what you want to set your mind to. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone tell you you're not pretty enough, you're not good enough. Fight for what you want and you'll get what you want, and like basically like make sure your dream becomes a reality, because I think this has been the best thing that's ever happened to me since I started wrestling. The idea of wrestling is like spectacular, and the fact if you can make it into a reality, go for it. Don't let anyone stop you, kind of thing.
Awesome.
How is the pandemic over in Canada? Is it getting better or is it
So the cases are going down, but we still are in like lower region for like the vaccines kind of thing. So I feel like once the vaccines pick up, like we should be able to have a proper summer, hopefully, fingers crossed. But overall, just like the mental state of being locked up for so long is hard, I guess. And like not being able to see friends and family just suck. And not being able to wrestle kind of thing sucks.
Yeah, they're starting to open a little by in the United States. I know Ring of Honor just announced today they're starting to have fans back again. So on July 11th, so which is crazy. So, but hopefully everything opens up for you guys in the future. You know.
Hopefully, like fingers crossed that
Fingers
like
crossed. Yeah.
this year's the last year of this kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Hopefully, it all goes away after this. But
Oh, Marauder has another question.
he has a lot. He always has the questions today. He's
He's
like,
good at
he's
this.
not.
That's
You
what
or
that,
yogurt, would
that's
you be
what
fruit
we're
at the
here
bottom
for.
or stick?
When me and Geeky and Joe can't get the question, Marauder
He always
jumps in
has
and
to have the weird questions. I don't know.
I guess I would like to be fruit because I would want to be healthy, I guess.
and he's trying to face me still in 2K. I mean, I don't have a PlayStation 5, so I told him I'm not in the current games right now. So, and Marauder just is requesting you do the Oscar dance again.
I know I saw that. Do you like the Dudley Boys, and what would you say would your be the favorite match?
I honestly like I don't hate.
Well, Roach. Amy, no,
She lost her.
she gone.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, you're here.
Good.
Okay. Sorry, it was just like circling. I wasn't actually like I didn't grow up in that kind of era. I grew up more in the Ruthless Aggression era, so with the John Cena's, the JBLs, the Edge, the Triple H, Batista kind of thing. So I wouldn't be a test to watching some of their stuff. Now that you think of it, I should go watch some of their stuff because they actually are great, like tag team techniques and technicians. So I feel like I'm going to actually go and watch them now.
You know who? Another thing I was gonna say with his passing on Monday, and it was kind of sad and creepy at the same time. Geek could be like, "Wow, I announced his death live on our show." What is your opinions and thoughts about New Jack's passing?
I know that like New Jack was loved by a lot of people. I can only imagine how his family feels. So much respect and love to his family, and I pray that like they find like peace with like and they're loved by everybody. It's very sad to know like that your loved one is gone, and like I can only imagine how they feel, and even like the fans, at least they're being respectful and everything. And I just pray that all the fans are respectful to the family. And like I just pay my respects to their family kind of thing.
Good. Yeah, he had some matches that were kind of cringe. Like I was still watching, I'm like, how is this on TV? Like in New York, they censor everything in New York TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of creepy that who are we talking to on Monday? I forgot. Oh, it was
Friday's Woods.
no, this past it was last week. Oh, it was last week when it was this group. I don't know if they said they may call you or message you. It's the Dirty Heels. In the middle of our top 10 matches, I Marauder said, "Rest in peace, New Jack," and I was like, "No, I thought maybe because of the match he said he would die."
We said Nick Gage versus New Jack, so that we didn't actually think to like that.
I went to my phone. Somebody said check my phone, and I went to the phone, and the Instagram feed was like pictures of New Jack, rest in peace. And I was like, breaking news, fans, New Jack has died. And that our show just slowed down to a crawl. We were like, can't believe it. It was just like a stunning thing. It's like always sad when a wrestler dies. Like it's always sad when somebody in the wrestling business passes away that he may have not affected like the regular wrestling. He was more like a hardcore wrestler. But it's either way, he's part of your wrestling family. You know, like you got to mourn him somehow.
Yeah.
I could see you coming out with like a black and red bandana when you first match back. To honor him with a ripped shirt, the sleeves, like New Jack. Yeah.
And if it happens to say Joe's idea, right?
Dang it, Joe the Panther! You sued me.
It's like, damn it, that was my idea, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
What you call it? Do you think kayfabe is truly dead, or do you think that maybe it could work out slowly, make a comeback?
I feel like as long as there's social media, I don't believe that it could slowly make a comeback. I feel like the social media kind of was like the death of kayfabe, because like a lot of wrestlers, like they basically try and like do more personal life stuff compared to the story. So I just feel like unless like all wrestlers decide to stay in character while they're on social medias, I feel like kayfabe will probably get better, but I don't think kayfabe is still as big as it was, because a lot of people want to be like their normal self instead of a character kind of thing.
Another one. Do you feel? Unless Joe has something, I don't want to interrupt him.
What's your favorite color?
Blue. I know it's I wear
Another
red,
blue.
but-
Another blue. Right?
Wasn't
You got
that
too many-
wasn't it Kiara? Wasn't that Kiara's favorite color?
yeah, I think it was Kiara's favorite color. She said, "Oh, what's your favorite color?" Blue. And it's like, wow.
You should definitely
Blue is
check her out for wrestling as well. She's another cool person to get connected to in the wrestling business, because she's from England, but she's a super sweetheart.
Mhm.
Like, you're really cool and you're really sweet. You would probably become best friend for her, because she's like super sweet, super mellow, like super cool, like to talk to and stuff like that. Even though she's in England, she still has some cool things, and it's funny because she acts like a face, but she also could play a nasty heel.
Yeah.
Like in the British hat with the little thing and stuff like that, and the jacket. And I was like, wow, that's cool. Yeah.
Would you ever participate in a zombie match?
No, because
No.
I'm terrified of zombies. That's my one thing. That and clowns. No. Those are, I know, like, I'm the badass chick, but if you throw me in a match with some zombies and clowns, I'm running the opposite way. That's one thing I don't like.
That's another question. What's your favorite zombie movie if you have one?
I guess maybe 28 Days Later. I try to stay away from zombie movies because I don't like zombie movies or anything with clowns.
Oh, here we go. Favorite next to White Chicks, what was your other favorite comedy movie?
My other favorite comedy movie is probably We're the Millers.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
They play that on Comedy Central religiously during the weekends where I live in PA. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because Comedy Central's like movies that they choose, but The Millers is one of the popular movies that they show on Comedy Central now. It's so weird. It's like you have so many different funny comedy movies you can toss on there, and The Millers is the one you choose.
If you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, though. But what you said you were in school. What are you studying?
So I just finished my certification for personal training. I'm still in school for a nutritionist. So I'm going for my certification as a nutritionist.
That's cool.
Like I said, I didn't mean to ask, but it's cool though.
It's okay. I have it on my social media, so.
Okay, cool. Hey, don't get blackballed, man. You go on Instagram. She blocked me. How dare you? Heal mode block.
She says I can't deal with zombies, and my girl and the mod says I hate clowns. So.
All right. If you had a chance to travel to any other like arena to perform in, what would your favorite arena? If you could travel to the States, what would be the one arena that you would be like, I gotta go there and perform?
I guess Madison Square Garden. That's one of the major like arenas for wrestling in general. So many moments to actually, and honestly, like my main goal is to like wrestle in Madison Square Garden. That would be a dream come true for me. I would feel like I would made it if like I wrestled there. So that'd be cool.
Maybe I don't know if you'd be old enough. Do you remember Howard Finkel?
Yeah, I remember Howard Finkel. So I think when I was like 8, he was like considered a legend, but like I didn't watch any of his old stuff, but I watched some of the stuff that he did during the Ruthless Aggression era. And
Did
he was
you?
a good announcer.
Did you actually hear any of the other episodes when I did the Howard Finkel guest?
No, I didn't actually see that part.
Well, would you like me to do my Howard Finkel for you?
Sure.
He does it for everybody.
Coming down the aisle from Canada, Amy Crimson.
That was actually really good. It actually sounded like him.
Going to the garden as a young child, Howard Finkel was my voice that welcomed me to Madison Square Garden every time. So childhood was blessed with the pipes of Howard Finkel going, "Welcome to Madison Square Garden."
Yeah.
He died. Oh, I can't even tell you. Geeky knows. That was like status next to when we lost my dog and my guinea pig as a kid. Losing Howard Finkel for me was like, that voice just every champion crowned in the 90s and the 80s always had a fun, like awesome, like goosebump moment when somebody would win the IC title or someone would win the hardcore title or intercontinental title. You would always be like, "Oh my god, cool!"
Yeah.
It's funny when I did the Howard Finkel for Tamaku, the big guy, goosebumps. He's like, "You gave Tamaku goosebumps," and then Kiara, she was like, "Oh my god, you gave me the goosebumps." So I think that's my new thing, Geek. I think that's like what I do for all the wrestlers that come on the show. I'm going to think them.
Do the Howard Finkel, right?
They get their moment. They're thinking when you just got your just when I did it. Just picture you're coming down the aisle in Madison Square Garden, and the fans are cheering you on, and Joe's in the upper deck as a child. Going. So yeah.
Is there a favorite place you would like to go if like travel to once the lockdowns are over? Or
Hopefully I can travel to like Mexico, the United States, Germany, UK, and possibly Panama. That would be a goal.
I got one. Do you watch American football? Because I know in Canada they have a football league. No?
I do not watch football.
Hockey?
What other sports do you watch?
Just wrestling. I don't really. Yeah, the only thing I watch is wrestling. I don't really watch that many sports. Like I'll watch like some soccer with my boyfriend, but that's about it. Like if it's on, like I'll watch it, but I'm not really a fan of it, kind of thing.
Yep. Do you have any other hat? Yeah. Do you have any other baseball caps, but then the one you wear in the ring?
So this one is actually one with Battle Arts Pro. I don't know.
That is pretty cool, though.
That's cool. You got a Battle Arts hat.
Yeah. I have also like a Toronto Blue Jays cap, but it's like my brother, so I don't really want to wear it as much. But majority I either wear a bandana or I wear this in the ring.
Do you have a favorite person to work with at Battle Arts or?
Actually, like there has been like a couple. One of my favorite matches were with Nessa Love. She trains in the UK now. But I was actually lucky to train with her at Battle Arts, so I had a couple good matches with her, so that was good. Bianca Corelli, Anthony's daughter, like we have some good matches, like that's great. Like I love working with her and like having like a rivalry and stuff. That's fun. And even Scarlett Delgado, like her match was fun. It was nice. It was clean, and like majority of the girls I love working with, like anyone from Battle Arts I do. Like
that's cool. It's cool that Santino's daughter is actually wrestling too. It's the second generation, you know.
So if you're watching this, Santino, we would be honored to have you on the show so you could tell us your wrestling stories. And even if Santino's daughter's watching, we would love to have you come on and talk about how it is to learn under the wing of the goofy Santino Marella. We would love to hear your stories because we had Stevie Ray on the show from Harlem Heat.
It's cool.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny to be able to talk to a man that won the tag team titles 10 times. But he didn't want to talk about wrestling. So it's kind of like refreshing to have indie wrestlers, which me and Geek swear by, are like that's the lifeblood of wrestling right now.
Yeah.
And have people come on and talk to us with all this stuff going on in the world. It's a good thing. And we know when this is over, Amy, someone's gonna pick you up.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
that's the goal. Like,
We
Mhm.
want
Fingers
you to get
crossed.
picked up because you're a good wrestler. You do what you do. You do what you do. You bring what you bring to the business, and it makes people smile and makes people want you to do even better.
thank
So
you.
we know you're going to get picked up. I believe you're going to get picked up.
Mhm.
I know.
Just keep going on podcasts, keep doing your thing, and eventually someone's gonna see you.
Hopefully, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know. I that Skeeks watched your matches, and I gotta get it back and I have to watch more of your matches. YouTube is a fun thing nowadays. Actually, if there's a like, you should definitely get some of your clips of your matches. You should start your own YouTube channel and like.
I have. It's actually called Amy Crimson. It's just I haven't been able to post any matches because I haven't been able to wrestle. So the most recent match that I had was with the Scarlet Delgado, and that was my last match that I got to wrestle. So
You should put it in your bio. That's PR head.
Favorite finishing moves.
it is. It is in my bio. So
Oh, it is?
yeah, if you go and
How
check.
do you think I watched it?
Oh, because I looked your name up. Because I looked and I didn't see it there. That's why I was like, yeah. Okay.
Favorite finishing moves.
So my finishing moves are basically the Michinoku driver and the flying chokehold.
No,
Those
I think
are-
he was asking favorite finishing moves, but that's a
Oh,
good
my
one. too.
favorite finishing moves. It has to be the RKO or maybe the 619. I love
Mhm.
those, and Asuka's Asuka lock.
Have you ever seen the movie Animal House?
No.
That's a must see because it's funny and it's 80s and it's lots of fun drinking. It's a fun drinking movie. And it's also people think it's just a solo movie. No, that's a movie that you watch with your friends and you get the beers and you just dance. It had lots of fun old 80s, 70s music in it.
Uh-oh. She's gone. She's gone,
She left.
Joe.
We scared her
bored.
away. Oh,
We
she's
got
back.
bored.
Guys, I
Oh, you
it
gotta
was
go.
great talking to you.
Okay, no
Alright.
problem.
Just take care. Thanks for coming on the show, by the way.
Well,
And that's- lost the connection.
yeah.
So.
Well, thank you for coming on our show, Amy. Sorry we
Lost you, right?
lost you. So Geek, do you want to keep going or do you want to end?
If you want to keep going, it's up to you, though. We could talk about Raw. I don't know. What do you want to do?
I guess we'll cut it and then we'll just
Watch Raw, right?
watch Raw. So
and she's back. She's back, actually. She's
She's
actually back.
Sorry, guys, something came up. I have to go, but it was great talking with you guys. Okay.
All right.
No,
All right.
no
Sorry.
problem.
Yeah,
That's
no problem.
we could have you on again if you want to
Okay,
come on.
that'd be awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Hopefully, when you come back, everything will be open again, so we could talk more about
Hopefully.
when your opponents and everything. So
Okay.
you know.
But sorry, guys.
Oh, no
that I have to
problem.
leave.
That's
I just
cool.
want.
We good.
I want to wish you good luck in your career and
Thank you.
and many titles for you.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Now,
No
have
problem.
a good one.
See you
Bye.
soon.
You too. Bye.
Uh-oh.
That was
Hope hope everything's okay.
Yeah. All right. So I want to thank our great guest, Amy Crimson, for coming on this. Oh, did Joe just freeze? No. But I want to thank our great guest, Amy Crimson, for coming on our show, talking about wrestling with us, talking about different opponents, everything. And you don't have to, but you could always donate to our tip page right here at streamlabs.com/dudes at ringside. Remember, you don't have to. This is just a tip. We enjoy talking about wrestling with everyone, enjoying the free content. But Joe, you want to say anything or?
Oh, as I say all the time, thank you to my grandfather, Jose Quinones. Thank you to my cousin, Pete Sanchez. Thank you to my uncle's godfather, Frank Martinez, the Blue Demon, for lighting the way for all Latino wrestlers. Good night, everybody.